Hey, where are you going?
I'm going gaming!
Today we are going to look at the latest installment in the God of War series, which is known for their fast-paced action and quick-time events. Let's see how well it does in accessibility friendliness. This is the first God of War game I have ever played, and I was excited to see what it was all about. I love Greek and Norse mythology, and have watched every episode of History's Vikings, and visited ancient Viking settlement excavations in Iceland, so this was right up my alley. Before starting, I wanted to look at the settings and options God of War has to offer. From what I can tell, there are no colorblind options. I put a good amount of hours of gameplay in, and I did not encounter any color-based obstacles. It might be more difficult to see health orbs for people who have trouble seeing green, but nothing that I felt would be an extreme disadvantage. There are a lot of captioning options in God of War that will help hearing impaired individuals follow along with the action. It was interesting to note that in the accessibility screen, you have the option to subtitle the speaker, so that the name of the character is displayed in the subtitles. This is not something I have seen a lot of, so kudos to the devs. Unfortunately, from what I can tell, God of War does not caption environmental sounds like arrows and magic spells, but the game does offer a compass around Kratos that lets the player know if an enemy or projectile is coming their way. This will certainly help hearing impaired individuals. There are quite a few options for customizing the controls, but it should be noted that you are still limited to what you are able to change. Instead of being able to assign every button, you are given a range of preset configurations. The default control scheme has the game controlling similar to the Dark Souls franchise, with other presets being similar to classic hack-and-slash games. This is not ideal for someone who would need to have a specific button layout to be able to play. I was pleasantly surprised to see that there is a previously mentioned accessibility menu with a few different options to pick from. In this menu, there are more advanced captioning options I talked about earlier, and there is even an option to change the QuickTime event from rapidly mashing a button to simply pressing and holding the button down. This makes these actions a lot easier for someone that has issues with fast repetitive motions. I set the controls to how I think they'd work best for me, and then jumped straight into the game. It took a while to get used to all the buttons and their functions. I find it fun, but hard, to fight multiple enemies at once. I have to dodge and shield block simultaneously while attacking and telling your son to use his bow. Obviously, this is difficult to accomplish with a limited range of motion or mobility issues, just like I have. The entire controller is used throughout the game, so at some point, you'll press every button on the controller, and possibly multiple at the same time. God of War has a lot going on all at once, and from what I'm told, requires much more finesse than previous titles in this franchise. I can tell there was major efforts made to make God of War handicap friendly, which I, and hopefully many others, can appreciate. For the most part, this game is more accessible than some of the other titles I've looked at. Those with mild mobility issues can likely play God of War without running into too much trouble, but I think those with more severe disabilities, such as partially or completely missing limbs, will have a difficult time making it work. Hey everyone! As always, thanks for watching. If you have any game suggestions, feel free to let me know. And be sure to like and subscribe to be the first to hear about any new episodes.